This is Rap the News. And this morning, I know you guys can see what I have right here on the page. Both I and my father's house have sinned. And then it says, admit that you're a guilty piece of shit. Admit it. You know, for a lot of people, that's the most hardest thing in the world to admit that they are a guilty piece of shit. They so busy hiding and they think God don't know what they hiding. And then someone said in the comments, they said, I know bad people and nothing ever bad happened to them. They always doing bad stuff and it seems like the Most High don't punish them. And so I gave them this verse. I said, Job 21:30. The wicked are reserved to the day of destruction, meaning that they can keep going on being wicked, but on that day, everything under the sun is finna happen to them. They're going to get it all in one big old giant bushel. And it's going to be so painful, it's going to be unimaginable. And you don't want to be they wicked asses. If you are not paying every day for the shit that you do some type of way, you are going to burn in eternity in hell. Mark my words for that. There's no way nobody, look at Job. So God said, have you tried my servant Job? Job is an outstanding citizen, and look what God did to him. Look what he did to the house of Israel. Look what he did to all the pious prophets. They had to run and scamper for their life and everything else. You mean to tell me you bad and the good things are going to happen to you? No, you're going to go downhill and you're going to go down so hard. James says something. He said, basically, in a room full of women, he going to pick a bad one pretty much every time or whatever he was saying, something like that. And I identify with that. Totally. I said, you know what? I pick a certain type of woman. I don't care what she look like, what walk of life she is, what job she has, how educated she is or how uneducated she is, how fat, skinny, white, black, green, yellow she is. It is the same woman every single time. And then I'll start thinking, I said, okay, am I picking familiar spirits? Or am I just attracted to a certain type of woman? But this is what I learned about picking a woman. You get what you deserve. And my woman is just like James Sinky woman. He described my wife. 100-fold you describe my wife when you describe your wife. And it has been, holy hell. And just like I said, I prayed to God. I was like, what? I know this woman is not the woman for me. I just know she's not. And when I prayed, I got on my hands and my knees are cleaned up, took a bath, everything. I mean, I got down, face down to the ground. And I was like, Lord, please, is this woman for me? Because she crazy. She is straight off her rocker. And basically, awesomely, God responded back to me and said, she's not the problem. You the problem. And I'm like, huh? Wait a minute. I know I'm not the problem because I'm you're the problem. It's like, you still watching that porno here and there. You still watching, I used to love, I ain't going to say what. You still watching bad shit. I don't want to hinder nobody in any kind of way, so I ain't gonna say, what I was into, but I was into some mess, and I don't mind saying it. And this is a part of what we're talking about today is confessing, And James, I think you did an awesome job at confessing, because when you confess, then you know what people do? They're gonna hold you to your shit. They're gonna say, hey, you know what? You said you was guilty of this shit. You said you had a problem with this. You said you had a problem with drugs. You said you had a problem with women. You said you had a problem with being faithful. You said you have a problem with your temper. You said you had a problem, you know what I mean? And people is going to hold you to what you say. People, like stuff I said 4 years ago, people hold me to. It was like, Raptor News, you said this, and I was like, whoa, I said that like 4 years ago. That person still remembered that. And now we're at a state of higher accountability when we confess. You know what happened when you confess? Then people are going to be watching your ass. If you say, oh, I'm just a big old child molester, Every time kids come around, guess what they're gonna be doing? Oh, get the kids out the room. You know his ass is fucking. You know he weird. Get my kid away from him. And you would think that's a bad thing. Do you know you're paying for your sins when that happened to you? Because you didn't hide it from God, and that's the due punishment. It's better than going to hell. If bad things don't happen to you here, bad things is going to happen to you, and you're going to be reserved to the day of destruction. You need those bad things happening all the time. Your wife is a God-sent James Sinky, just like my wife is a God-sent. You know, and basically that's how I paid for a multitude of sins. Is just sitting there dealing with it. Now I'm gonna say this. I've no, what happened? I've never hit my wife. I was gonna say I'll probably wanted to, but I've never hit her. You know, never hit her. I have grabbed her and held the shit out of her, but never hit her. You know, because I learned this from my stepfather, and he told me this. He said, the moment you start beating on a woman, you're going to continue to beat on her for eternity. You ain't going to respect her enough to stop beating on her. The moment you hit her, you're going to continue to hit her. You might feel bad about it the first time, but you're going to keep going back and hitting her, you know. And so don't begin. He said, do you want me to hit on your mama? I was like, you better not hit on my damn mama, you know. It's like you don't want no man hitting on your mama. You don't want no man beating your sisters. Don't touch nobody else's woman. You know, nobody else's mama, nobody else's sister. You know, even if it's your wife, you don't put your hand. I tell my son, cardinal rule number 1: do not hit your wife. Your father has never hit your mother. You don't hit no woman. You know. And even if they deserving to hit, being hit, don't hit. The only thing I say to my wife is, if you don't want to be in the hit zone or your ass broke zone, never pull a weapon on me. Anybody who pulls a weapon on me, you will die. You will die. Because that's just you telling me you want to kill me when you pull out a weapon. Never do that. You know, if you want, I don't like to get hit in the face either. Do not hit me in the face, or you asking for it. Don't hit me in my face. You know, don't hit me, period. But definitely don't touch my face. You know, I gotta look. I'm just playing. Anyway, yeah. So I identify with him. My wife has been very chaotic, and it is a demon. It's demons. It ain't a demon. I'm gonna tell you about demons again. Demons travel in tribes. There are tribes. If it's one demon inside your wife or your husband or your kids, and it has been in all of my instances, the devil wants you bad, and he'll use your wife, your kids, and everything else to take you off course. He will use them, you know, and all he wants you to do is act out. You know, he wants you to beat, he wants you to kill, he wants you to do everything else. He wants to jail you, he wants you to commit murder. He wants you to do everything, and you just don't do it, man. You know, it's better to just get all them people who murdered their wives and in prison now. It was better to have just walked away. You know, it's better to not touch. It's better to not rape. It's better not molest. It's better to not be homosexuals. It's better to not kill than to actually do crimes. When you do these crimes, immediate payment is going to be mandated on your ass. Anyway, so James said a bunch of stuff in that video that, you know, is worthy, you know, is some good material, because my whole household, I made it like this. Don't talk about the next man when you're guilty your GD self. Don't talk about the next man when you're guilty your damn self. How is my sin better than your sin? Is your sin better than mine? If you've been a guilty piece of shit, a you know, filth McNugget, how can you open your mouth up and say something about the next man? We have to be true and fair in some kind of you know, way to say, hey, look, it's just like my son, you know, oh God, let's say he needed some money and we don't really got it, you know, but we had to end up giving him some anyway, and that burned me up. And I was like, he has to get his shit together, you know. But then, you know what the Spirit did to me? Remember when you was around 25 and you didn't have your shit together? And basically, remember you was borrowing money from your stepfather to help you pay your bills and stuff like that. Remember when you was doing this and doing that, and you could, no matter how much you tried, you could not make it work. You know, I tried everything and I couldn't make nothing work in my life because God didn't want it to work. You know, and that's just how the people say, oh, that's excuses. There's no excuses. When God said all these blessings will come upon you and overtake you, you have nothing to do with it. All these curses will come upon you and overtake you, you have nothing to do with it except for you sinned against the Most High. If you did something good for the Most High, the blessings will come. If you did something evil, then all these curses will come and they overtake you. That means that something has more power than you in your life. You know, and so let's get into it, and then we're going to go back to those story time. Nehemiah 1:6. Let thy ear now be attentive, and thy eyes be open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy servant, which I pray before thee now, day and night, for the children of Israel, thy servants, and confess the sins of the children of Israel. Confess them. They gay, they carnal, they chaotic, you know, they divided like fuck. They can't do shit together. They can't come together. Everybody is a damn chief and a boss, you know, in the neighborhood. You know, they murderers, they liars, they thieves, they drug addicts. These are the children of Israel. They have never did shit right from the beginning to the end. They fucked up in the garden and ate the damn apple. They fucked up in Israel and started worshiping other gods. They spent 40 years in the wilderness and fucked up. They went to Egypt and fucked up. They fucking up in America right now. There, the sins of Israel is confessed. You know, and they hide in they shit. They too scared to say all the shit that they doing, so everybody gonna know they filthy pieces of shit. There you go, Israel. And then anybody who claiming to be something, then take a long look at your life and all the shit you did in the dark. Open up your closet and air that smelly motherfucker out, man. Which we have sinned against thee. Both I and my father's house have sinned against you, Lord. At least Nehemiah was straight, right? Both I and my father's house have sinned against you, Lord. And so this is what I did with my family. I said, basically, you know, don't act like your shit don't stink. Don't act like, you know, everything is rosy over there where you are. There's some of us that are better than others. Some of us that don't do things that others do. I'll give and take that, you know. But don't act like your asshole is squeaky booty hole clean. You know what I mean? Don't act that way around me. I don't like that shit, man. You are not no angel. You have done shit. The devil has screwed us over, all of us equally, or even some of us even more. You know, as far as you allowed yourself to go. Sometimes in my life I said, no, I can't do this because I have to live with myself. And a lot of y'all don't do that. But I did it in my life. I said, I would like to do this, but I have to live with myself. And there's certain things I can't do and then live with myself. I couldn't look myself in the mirror. If you can't, I used to see people who did ill shit to each other, like homosexual shit and all that. And then they walk past each other and they turn their heads and don't look at each other because they're guilty as fuck. You know, they doing sexual things to each other or evil things to each other, and they walk past and don't talk. I didn't like that when I was growing up. I said, they don't talk because they guilty. You know, I said, so I ain't going to raise my family like that. I'm going to raise my family like this. Do everything that you can live with. If you can live with it, then execute it. But if you can't live with that shit, and you in shame and you have to duck your head and turn your face and you don't talk because of that shit, because most of my family don't talk because they screwed each other over, you know, sexually and every other kind of way, even all the way up to murder, they screwed each other over. You know, you know, you have to live with each other, so don't do shit that you're going to regret all your life. Behold, Ezekiel 28:3, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. O God, you are wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from you. If you can't hide it from God, why are you hiding it from men? Men is of more importance than God. I couldn't wait to say what I did. I couldn't wait to say that I forged my report card every year. I forged it because my father gave ass whoopings for bad grades. You got bad grades, you got your ass beat. It was immediate, go to the room, extension cord, that's your ass. Don't get no bad grades. He don't do C's. He do B's and he do A's, but he don't do C's. C's and, all that, and then basically B minuses, you're going to get warned. That's how my house was. And then some. Just like I said, our house was ran like a boot camp. And it was. Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled even. His children are spoiled. So Esau can't come and say God is wrong. The children of Israel can't say they ain't filthy fucking McNuggets. And Esau is no better. You know what I mean? So why sit there and hate on each other? Are we not all God's creation? Yes, we are. And I could say shit like this, like I tell on myself. I don't mind fucking telling on myself because just like I said, you ain't my damn judge. God is, and I don't give a good rat's ass of what you think about me at the end of the damn day. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like I tell my family, I'm honest with my children and my wife and everybody. They know me. They would tell me right away, no, don't do that because we already know you got a problem. And they keep you clean, man. They keep you clean. But they don't have to keep me clean. I keep myself clean, or the Spirit does. It works with me and say, if you do that, God gonna chop your fucking head off. Don't fucking do the shit. God hands you your ass every single time. You can't get away with snot. Your snot can't even drop and wipe it on something. You can't get away with it. And so anyway, so I was dating this girl. I was married, dating this girl, and basically, the girl had a brother, and the brother said he was in the military. He was in the Navy, and he says, "Hey man, he said, let's go to the mall. I'm gonna buy my kids some clothes and things like that." And I was like, "Oh, what a swell guy, man! This guy," and I'm using swell. What a swell guy! This guy, takes care of his family, and he's good. He hugs his wife. He kisses his wife. He passes his kids. He's holding and hugging his kids. I wish my family was like that, but I'm out here fornicating and committing adultery and shit like that. And so anyway, I go to the swap mall with this guy. He buying all times like, oh, this guy can actually afford to buy things for his kids. I was struggling. I always have been struggling my whole life. God wanted me to struggle with everything. Nothing comes easy. It was always hard work. I got to work 10 times harder than everybody else. And so anyway, I was kind of like envying that guy a little bit. And I was like, the military sure do take care of you guys, huh? He's like, yeah, I get BAQ and this and that. And, he said, man, I said, what is your secret, man? Like, you good with your wife? Is she happy? You happy? Your kids is happy, and you're able to afford clothes and food, and it's just a happy dad, man. And I'm not that way with my kids. It's like I'm happy with my kids and stuff like that, but not like you. And he's like, dude, here's my secret. He said, I'm in the military. I travel from port to port to port to port to port. PORT. And basically I got women everywhere, so of course I'm happy. And then he said the trigger words, women everywhere. Wait a minute. I never put that shit together, man. You mean to tell me if I join the military, I can have women in every, and then ding, here go the bright ideas in my head. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a wife in every port. I'm going to marry all around the world. That's what I'm going to do. And then I can take care of my family. I can get the extra money that they give you for having and housing and everything for having a family, and I'll be just like this guy, but greater, but greater. You know, I joined the military, and guess what they did? Look at the glory of God. He put me on a ship full of all men. We wasn't going to no port. We just drove around in the sea. The captain was trying to make full berg, and he just went around and around and around in a circle, so he can get his stripes or whatever he was trying to gain from doing that bullshit. And so we heading out to sea. We heading out to sea. Nothing but a ship full of funky ass men. Funky ass damn man. I almost fucking lost my mind on that mother. You know, I'm gonna say this. Swear to God on my life, I went so bananas on that damn ship that they pulled that ship over in Hawaii and dropped my ass off, and the Marines came and took my ass to the fucking brig. You know how many fights and squabbles I done got into on that ship? I don't like men. I say that again 3 times. I don't like men. I don't like men. Stay your funky asses away from me, especially gay men. Stay. I don't like my fathers have turned me off from men. I'm not no man's man. I like women. I don't even like women that damn much, but I like women. I love women. Let me say that. But I definitely don't like men. You know, I can only stand to be around men so long. Men always seem like they got some kind of gay agenda or something. A lot of them, you know. And so a lot of them ain't even men. They wouldn't even know how to be men. They don't even know how to act around men. So anyway, yeah. And that was a lesson learned. God did not allow me to have a woman in every port. God broke down everything that I did wrong, and he stopped me from it, and he just kept turning me back to the book, smack, back to the book, smack, back to the book. And I said, you know what? I yelled it out one day. I said, God, you won't let me do nothing but read this book. And then it hit me when I said it. Oh, shit. That's all I can do. Because I was yelling it out. I was just on the floor praying because I knew God. Some people don't know it's God stopping them. I knew God was stopping me. I was like, God, why do you stop everything that I do? I'm trying to work, God. I'm trying to be a man. I got all these damn kids to take care of. You know, I'm just so damn mad. And you just won't. I'm yelling. Let me be a man. You know. Damn it, what do you want? I can't do nothing but read this damn book. That's all he wanted me to do. Ding, then the light went on. That's all you gonna do. I said, okay, all right. We gonna start a damn deaf ding, cause that's all I'm gonna do is read this damn book now. That's all you want me to do is read this book and pray and fast and all this. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna keep doing it. I did that for 25 years. I'm still doing it. I ain't stopped. Every single day, hours a day. Read. I done read so much. I done read book of Barnabas, I believe. I done read all these other books, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, and other books. It has to be God-related books. So people think I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, I've dug into that. Barnabas was like one of my favorite characters. I thought Barnabas was so damn pious and stuff like that. And I believe Saul killed Barnabas and married his daughters. You know, that's how deep I got into that. And other things I was getting in. I was so deep into the book. But anyway, let's get back to this. Job 34:22. There is no darkness, no shadow of death where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves. And so God told me when I was on that ground praying, he said, your wife ain't to blame. And so I would tell James Sinky the same thing. I'm pretty sure he knows. Your wife ain't to blame. It was all the shit that James Sinky did growing up. All the way up until James Sinky is the age that he is right now. And it was all the shit that Rap the News did growing up to now. is the reason why God is punishing the shit out of us, and he won't let us breathe. And he'd be like, how much can a man take? You know, well, you still breathing, boy, so you you can take some more. You know what I mean? And you're gonna take as much as God give you. Now I like welcome this shit. I was like, okay, God, that hurted a lot. So I guess I paid for a multitude on that one. I sure did break my ass on that motherfucker. So I paid for some more. That's how I look at it. My wife was so ugly to me right then. I guess I paid for some more shit. Not that I sit up and put up with the shit. I don't just sit up and put up with shit. No. But we just go through holy hell. But if me and my wife get into an argument, we don't talk outside the book. And so if me and my kids get into any type of debate or they get angry or upset, all I do is promote scriptures to them. They're not going to hear. And I say to them, I'm still going by the book. I'm still going by the book. This is how God said treat each other, and this is what I'm doing. And you, sir, or you, ma'am, you are out of control. And God is going to punish you. You are on your way to hell now. You just can keep going and breaking yourself. We are going to resolve. We are going to make peace. We're going to keep ourselves straight with each other. You ain't going to walk nowhere and go nowhere mad. We are going to resolve this shit. I don't give a damn if I have to sit in your face all damn day long and we go through holy hell, and we have. You're going to resolve your damn shit. Ain't nobody going to walk away mad. Everybody, when we walk away, everybody going to be good. We came to some type of resolve or agreement, or you don't walk away. You can swing, you can do that and grab the many people. I have slammed a few. They have to realize that I'm very powerful too. You ain't finna like somebody reported me for slamming my son. He's a grown ass damn man, 25 years old. He thought he could take me, and he realized that he couldn't. When he ended up on his fucking back, on his face, on the ground, I picked his ass up and put his ass down, and then damn near choked the life out of his damn ass. He realized that he didn't have no power like he thought. He think that you got a little gray in your beard, then he could take you. You can't take me. And then basically, okay, you're going to wait till I'm 80. I got it. My trigger finger worked. That's what my daddy used to say. My trigger finger always going to work. Even if it's jittery, I'm going to blow your ass away. You ain't finna to beat me. I ain't going to let nobody do that to me. As far as God can help. James 5:20. Let him know that he which covereth the sinner from the error of his way shall save his soul from death, and shall hide a multitude of sins. If you could stop the sinner from sinning, you took away a lot of your sins. You know how you're gonna stop the sinner from sinning? You stop sinning your damn self. Don't do nothing wrong in front of your wife, your children, or anybody else, your husband, whoever. Don't do nothing wrong in front of them. You live a good, pious, clean life. And you know what? Because if you don't, guess what your kids and your wife gonna say? You did this. Well, Daddy, you did that. You still doing that. It ain't, do as I say, don't do as you see me do. They gonna call you on your shit. So you have to stop everything to cover your sins. And then you can say, I did some error when I was younger. I stopped. And basically, I'm telling you to stop because I paid like hell for it. And I don't want you to pay like hell for it. And then if they keep going and they pay like hell, because they are, after warning comes destruction. God is going to attack their asses. He's going to make them pay for it. And usually it happens quicker than we know. Give it a couple of years. And then I'm going to say, I told you so. Leviticus 26:40. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers and their trespasses, which they trespass against me, if you can confess it. And they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them. They left me, so I left their asses, and have brought them into their land of the enemies. I brought them into their land, the land of their enemies. And then their uncircumcised heart, if then their uncircumcised heart be humble, and they then accept the punishment of their iniquity, bam, right there, that's what I'm talking about. If you can accept the punishment of your iniquity, if you can accept the punishment of your iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, your forefathers, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. And did he say he's going to remember you? No. He remembered what he promised the forefathers concerning the seed, which is you. Right? And then let me say this to Gentiles, and at least Rap the News speak the truth. You have to be with us, Gentiles, whether you like it or you don't. Whether you can't stand Rap the News guts, you have to be with us, and I try to make it as tolerable as possible, or as entertaining as possible as I possibly can. I ain't no professional entertainer, but I do my best, guys. And I ain't here to entertain you. I'm here to entertain you with these scriptures. Entertain God's knowledge on you. But yeah. So if you could accept the punishment, guess what? Your wife is the punishment. Your husband is the punishment. Your children is the punishment. Be nice to them. It's a part of the punishment. I tell my mother, she got a froggy ass damn husband. And I tell her, you know what, this guy is wiping out so many of your sins. Just keep dealing with them. And to God, when God don't want you to be with that person, he'll get rid of them for you. Totally, And like I tell people, I was so right about warning people that things start happening to them exactly what I said was going to happen to them, that people said, don't go around him, he'll curse you. That's what they start saying about me. He'll curse you. And so, anyway, I watched that video that James Sinke made, and basically, it was very entertaining. I laughed my ass off. I realized we had a lot in common. I realized that I will walk in a room full of women, and I'm going to pick the chaotic. If God don't pick them for me, then I'm going to pick a booger every time. She's going to be a lesbian. She's going to be chaotic and crazy, all at the same time. That's all I pick. I put crazy, gay, carnal women, mouthy, chaotic, gay women. That's all I pick. I don't care what walk of life they from, whether they working for the president or in the dope house. I'm going to pick a crazy, no matter if they light, white, green, purple, no matter what continent, I'm picking somebody crazy every time. And it can't be helped because it is what I'm due. Until I stop. You're crazy for going against the Lord. You're crazy for all the years you went against God. And God says every sin that you did or do have to be accounted for. That is why we have a day of judgment, a day to make you accountable for everything that you do. And so basically, the people that God is going to take out of here, He's going to make them accountable. The righteous, He's going to make you accountable right here in this earth. You're paying for everything, So we ain't going to worry about the cancer. We ain't going to worry about the tumors, the growths. We ain't going to worry about dying. We ain't going to feel sorry for ourselves. What we going to do is keep praising God. We're going to eat right, do what's right. And I'm say this because I'm making the video long, but these things come through me to me from the Spirit. And it goes out to James Sinke and people like that. If you go on the Atkins diet, which is an all-meat diet, you'll change your metabolism. You can kill the cancer from changing your metabolism. If you go on the I forget the other diet. Damn, I can't think of the name of that damn diet. I said it in the video, where you just eat the vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, the alkaline diet. Then you can make your body alkaline, and the cancer can't stay in it. If you cheat and you drink soda, sugar, beer, wine, things like that, all you're doing is you're killing yourself, And so basically, you can also not eat for 7 days, and you can look up online. And I ain't saying to do it. I'm not giving anybody any medical information or nothing like that. I'm just saying this is what people do online. You don't eat for 7 days. You kill the jinn that's causing the cancer to spread. But I'm gonna say what kills the cancer and all of the diseases, period. Obedience to the Most High God. Completely stop sinning. And then all these blessings will come. It'll overtake you. And basically, he said you're going to be blessed in your body. It's going to cure whatever's wrong with you if you have the faith of a mustard seed. Strap the news.